All right, welcome to another episode of Homestead Shop Talk podcast with Al from Lumnah Acres, Ben from Hollar Homestead, and myself, Jason from Sow the Land, and we are episode 66. We made it, and how you guys been?
Been good. Been excellent. How
Yeah,
about
so doing good. It was a busy week for me, but today this podcast. So last week we said everyone submit questions, and we'll pick one and answer it for you. So I think we got a total of maybe about 21 questions sent to my email. So thank you everyone who submitted. Great questions. There's some great questions in there. And I think we chose one. So we're going to answer that question after we talk about our weeks. And then we'll go in depth of that. See if we could help you out. But yeah. Who wants to go first?
I can go first. Mine's pretty short.
Are you still on vacation?
As of Thursday, no. I'm no longer on vacation. So just like, it's been the past two podcasts I've talked about this. So my parents came out. They drove all the way out from California for a visit, and they towed their trailer. So they parked up here on the front yard, and they stayed with us for, it was exactly a week. They got here Thursday and they left the following Thursday. So, we're recording this podcast on a Monday. So yeah, I think they're probably, I don't know, just about home by now. I think they're probably either in Arizona or New Mexico, headed home. They'll probably be home in a day or so. But yeah, so it was really good. It was a really good visit. It was really good to see them. I think what the hardest thing is about only seeing family once a year is you realize the passage of time as soon as you see somebody. It doesn't feel like any time has passed, and talking to them, it doesn't feel like any time has passed. But as soon as they stepped out of the car, it's like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen them in a year. Like it's such a weird feeling. And of course, the week came to an end, and it actually worked out. We had our Azure drop first thing in the morning. Sometimes it's early in the morning that Thursday, and it just worked out. They wanted to be on the road early, and we had to be out of the house early. So, yeah, it was a quick goodbye first thing in the morning, which, I don't know, we've kind of slipped into Southern goodbyes. Goodbyes can last a long time. So it was pretty short and sweet. We said goodbye, and they took off and went one way, and we took off and went another way. So it was pretty good. It's always hard, knowing I might not see him next year, because life might change, but we definitely value the time we have. So yeah, I'm going to get all emotional. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry if I made you all weepy.
Do you think your brother will get the brisket, or will they eat it on the ride home?
He'll probably get it. I'll find out if I get a text in a couple days about the brisket. Either way, I'll be happy. He'll get it. He'll get it. So yeah. Other than that, I will say, at the Azure drop that day, I threw my back out. I haven't thrown my back out in, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years, something like that.
Damn.
I don't know. Maybe it was just from sitting for a whole week, just sitting in my chair, talking to my parents, not doing a whole lot. Usually I help unload the truck. I unloaded, what was that, like 3 pallets of stuff at the Azure drop. No problem. Got down, picked up my box of potatoes to put it in my truck, and stood up like I was talking to somebody, and I kind of had my head turned weird, and it was just one of those like pick up, snick, uh-oh. So it was pretty bad. I was kind of laid up it was the rest of Thursday, all day Friday, and Saturday I was pretty stiff, but by Sunday, wow, I was out doing stuff. But yeah, that's never fun.
You're better now?
Yeah, actually, I woke up today, my alarm went off, and my feet hit the ground. It was like, hey, my back doesn't hurt. Sweet. So, yeah, it was maybe my body just needed some more downtime. Maybe that's all it was.
Yeah. Not yet, Ben. Not yet.
Not yet. Finish the weekend. So, yeah, this wasn't as bad as the last time I threw up my back. The last time, I think I've talked about it. I was getting ice. We were butchering chickens. I was at the store getting ice, and it was like a lift and twist, 7-pound bag of ice, like nothing heavy. But I reached down, grabbed it, kind of lifted and twisted weird because the ice machine was kind of low on ice bags. That time I threw my back out so bad. Like, it was everything I could do to carry that 7-pound bag of ice to the truck, which was like 10 feet away. And then I'm surfing down the side of the truck. I couldn't hardly walk. I've never thrown my back out that bad. But this time it hurt. I was pretty sore, but I got over it.
You guys have any chiropractors that you go to down there?
Oh yeah. Straight to the chiropractor.
Yeah. Now, can you get into your chiropractors easy?
Yeah. The last time they close early on Fridays, and the last time it was almost noon by the time we got in. And Meg, I got home. Not this time. It was the last time. The last time I get home, Meg's like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I threw my back out. I couldn't hardly get out of the truck." She's like, "Get in the car. I'm taking you to the chiropractor." She called him. She's like, "Stay open. I'm bringing him in. He hurt his back." I get down there, and
she carries you in.
Just about she's helping me up the steps to the building, and we get in there, and there's 2 people there. The lights are all off, and it's just the chiropractor and one other girl. So I was very thankful that day. That was a bad one.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, all's well that ends well. Nobody ever likes hurting their back.
Nope.
So that's about it for me. Real exciting week.
So you're back at it, ready to go.
Yep, back at it. I was getting into stuff all day today, which I will share on next week's podcast.
Nice.
Cool.
Not really. It's nothing exciting. I cleaned all day. That's what I'm going to be doing the next 2 weeks is cleaning.
Getting ready for all the classes.
Yeah, me and Meg sat down with a calendar today, and we're planning the final 2 weeks of things that we have to get done before we have people here. And it's really not too bad. It's just a bunch of cleanup. So it's all
What
good.
are your guys' first classes? October?
Ours is October 18th, 19th, I believe. I just had it on my notepad right here, and I just closed my notepad. That's, October 18th and 19th. And then my calendars show that. So super excited. Meg's waving at me from the corner. She's like, "Good job. You got it."
When's yours, Jason? Yeah. You're doing one in October too, right?
Yep, mine's the 25th, 26th, the weekend after.
Nice.
Yeah, I just noticed that today. We were looking at the calendar. It was like, oh, Jason's are the weekend after ours. So
yeah,
anybody who's wanting, there are plenty of weekends available. If you can't make it to one of ours, you can make it to Jason's, that kind of thing. Man,
yeah.
I just
We
hope we don't
purposely did it
saturate
that
hope we don't saturate the market.
Everybody's know how to process a pig.
Yeah,
I think everybody should learn.
We're actually sold out in October. We sold it out on October.
Yeah, us too.
So, yeah, we have one in November's. There's some tickets left there, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have plenty to talk about that week.
You'll be talking. It'll be back and forth each week between the two of you.
Pork week.
Pork week.
Pork week. It's really going to be pork week because we're preloading the system. Jason, I'm going to need to borrow the trailer if at all possible, the weekend before. I gotta do 2 pigs that I'm tired of feeding.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
It's really going to be pork week. I'm gonna do 2 the week before the class, and then just because we need ground beef. We're out of ground beef or not ground beef, ground pork, and it's well, I got these 2 that are ready, and we're not doing them with the class. We're just doing single pigs this time. It's well, I guess the only place I can fit them in is the week before the class.
When do you got to butcher your chickens?
Those will go the week after the class.
Okay, so you're gonna be busy.
Yep, that's it's a very, very dark time of year. The freezers get very full this time of year.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's about it for me. Just getting back in the saddle, getting back in the swing of things. How about you guys? What'd you guys get into this week?
What have you been up to, Jason?
Yeah, I could go. So it's been pretty busy this week because Let's see. It started off week pretty good because we've been selling our chicken, selling our turkeys, and we had a lady come out to pick up her chicken, and she goes, I'm asking people that come and pick up their chicken. I'm just, kind of asking them questions of like, like, I don't know, like why are you buying my chicken? Like kind of those kind of questions, like, or how'd you hear about us, or or if I was to ship, would you want me to ship, or stuff like that, just to see where people's mind is. And this lady says she's in Asheville, and she's like, I was at Whole Foods. I was looking at the chicken at Whole Foods. I was like, I really didn't want to buy the chicken because I was like, man, I don't, she really wants, properly raised meat. And she's like, I don't know how this chicken's raised, even though it's Whole Foods. And then she goes, as I was thinking it and staring at the chicken aisle, she goes, your video popped up that was like, hey, I'm selling chicken. And she goes, oh my gosh, she goes, I'm going to buy Jason's chicken. And then so here I am picking up chicken. So I mean, that was pretty cool
That's pretty cool.
She chose my chicken over Whole Foods.
Whole Foods better watch out.
I know. I'm taking their business away. Watch out.
One chicken at a time.
I know. One chicken wing at a time. So I thought that was pretty neat. So yeah, there's a couple people that came and picked up the chickens and this week, which is cool. So also what we did was this weekend we butchered the rest of our 60 meat birds. No. Yeah, we butchered all the meat birds, but we butchered 30 last week, and then we butchered 30 this week. And we had Lorraine's parents over. They're a ton of help getting it done. We butchered them on Saturday, and we also had a workshop. And this time only 2 people signed up. So, I mean, either way, we're doing the workshop, whether 1 person signs up or 10 people sign up. So this time it was 2. And they were cool. They were cool people. We ended up doing all 30 chickens. So and they stuck around for all 30 chickens.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, there's only 2 of you guys, so typically, you could do 2 each if you want. You don't have to stay for the whole thing. But they're like, well, this is kind of like a one-on-one here. So they stuck it out.
The real question is, after staying for a day like that, are they going to go home and do it themselves, or did they just burn out on it?
Yeah, I mean, they had just moved kind of to the area, so they're like 2 months brand new. So I don't think they had any animals or nothing, so they seemed excited to still do it. So
that's some good hands-on learning for sure.
Trial by fire.
Oh, yeah.
We were done. We did all 30 chickens by like noon. So, it was a good day. And then what we also did was, because we had 14 turkeys left. And we were like, we had 1 tom left because we had butchered, I think 5 toms the week before. And they were all like 20, 25 pounds. And then we butchered the last tom. And then I was like, we got to try one of the females, because I was like, it's hard to gauge like how big do we want these turkeys, right? So I was like, we should do a female, and that will kind of gauge like how the rest of them are, because they all kind of look the same height. So then we did the tom, and then we did a hen, and then the tom ended up being like the biggest one. He was like 25 pounds. And then the hen was 16, almost 17.
That's a big hen.
So I was like, well, we probably should butcher the rest of them because they all look very similar. I was like, we probably don't want it, because what I'm learning is that most people, I don't know what they consider a big turkey, but I would say most people don't want a big turkey. So that's why I was trying to gauge. I mean, people put down their deposits, so I'm like, okay, I don't know how big of a turkey I need to be growing here, but 16 seems to be about right. So then the following day, this wasn't planned, but we said, okay, we should butcher the rest of the turkeys. So we ended up on Sunday butcher 12 turkeys, So now we have no poultry. We butchered all the turkeys. We butchered all the chickens. And butchering turkeys, man, it's tough.
It is tough. Those are a big bird.
We did it though. I mean, we had Lorraine's parents were here, and we they helped us out, and we were done by 12 turkeys. We started about 9. We were done by noon.
Cool.
I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it's still a good workout. You gotta warm up before you start doing it.
Don't want to throw your back out lifting a 25-pound turkey into a cone.
I know, that'd be the worst. But we got it done, and so yeah, I'm happy we did that. I didn't think we were gonna do them so soon because they were 17 weeks. Because you have some, right, Al?
We do. We have 9.
I thought we got them at the same time. You think?
I think you guys maybe like a week earlier. It was right around the same time. Yeah, ours are smaller still. I feel like I haven't weighed them. But
yeah, because last year we did the same turkey, but we only had 6. But we didn't butcher them till 20 weeks, and the biggest turkey there was like 18. I don't know why.
Are you giving them that mineral or whatever still? I wonder.
Yeah, I'm giving them those minerals. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I would think our hens. My guess is our hens would probably weigh 10 pounds right now, dressed.
Okay.
And like the toms that we have, I think we only have like 2 or 3 toms. I would say they're probably like 15 pounds. If I had to take a guess, they're not very big.
Right.
Could be the minerals. It could be like you've really improved your pastures. Maybe that's got something to do with it too.
Yeah, that's true. Because where I had them the last couple years were an area where there was no grass, like hardly grass. It was mainly weeds, and there was a lot of dirt. In that same area, there's a bunch of grass, and that's where I still had these turkeys. So that could have been it. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean, I wasn't expecting that, but I was like, I think we should butcher these turkeys now, So, yeah. Buying 1,000 pounds of feed for them was just. I had to buy a few more bags. It was almost enough.
So you didn't have a bunch left over then, which is good.
Feed? No.
Yep.
I hardly had any feed left over. They went through everything.
Right there at the end, were they going through 50 pounds a day?
No, I wouldn't say a day. 50 pounds a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, when we did turkeys, I think we only had, I don't know, it was like 10, 12, somewhere around there. Those turkeys were eating 50 pounds a day right there at the last couple days. Like,
or maybe I didn't let them.
We got to butcher them now or we're going to go broke.
Yeah. I mean, they might have if I let them. I only fed them like once in the morning, and then it was like a half a 5-gallon bucket.
It's like 12 pounds of feed.
But maybe if I let them, they probably would have. Yeah. So in between butchering, it was like this weekend. Also, this weekend was the ASAP Farm Tour. You ever heard of the ASAP Farm Tour, Ben?
Yeah.
Did you ever do that?
We've never done it. We've always had something going on.
Dude, I highly recommend doing that because it's like. So ASAP Farm Tour, for people listening, it's I think it's Appalachian Sustainable Agriculture Project, it's called. I mean, they've been around for years up in Western North Carolina. They're in Asheville. They have this farm tour. I mean, they help all like small farmers in the area. It's all Western North Carolina. And they really help the small farmer, like promote them, and like they do farmers markets and stuff. And they do these tours every year where if you're a part of that group, like you could, in your farm, they promote, organic practices, sustainable and regenerative and all that. And it's a weekend, and it costs like $40 for a carload. So it's very affordable. And you could drive to all these farms, how many farms you want, and they do tours, they have food there from the farm, and so we went to the ones that were in kind of close to us. We only got to go to, on Saturday we went to one farm, and then on Sunday we went to one farm because after we butchered, we're like, okay, because I think it was only till like 5 p.m. So we're like, okay, after we butchered, we got to go to this one farm. and then that was Saturday, and then on Sunday the same thing. So we only went to 2 farms, but the Saturday farm we went to, so there's this farmer that's pretty close to us, Ben, that he grows rice. And he harvests rice, like legit rice, like rice patties. Like, I never thought there was rice growing in North Carolina.
I mean, I've heard that there's a lot of people around here that grow rice. I've just never seen it. So, like, I'd want to see that.
It was cool. It was neat. I mean, they had food there from the farm. I mean, they had a farm stand. I mean, he was growing this rice from, I forget what country it was, but it was like, I don't know, Korean or something like that, where, it's like illegal to take seeds out of the country, but somehow he got these seeds.
So he got some North Korean rice seeds or something?
Yeah, he planted them, and like, he grows it. He says he grows like, he harvests like 500 pounds a year.
That's cool.
I mean, it was neat. It was really neat, and just to see that and how he was doing it, and they did a farm tour on it, and I mean, it was cool. Like, that's something you just don't see every day. He said he's as far as somebody who's like harvesting it and selling it, he's like this. He only knows of one other farm in North Carolina that's doing that, or out East Coast, anyways.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And we bought some rice.
Is it like a wild rice, or is it like a short grain rice?
It's like I don't know. It's like a sticky rice. It's
Is it white?
No, I wouldn't say it's white. It's like a brown rice.
Okay.
But it came in like a little Ziploc bag, and we had it that day, and it was good. I mean, it wasn't. I wonder like what the nutritional value there is compared to like, say, just regular rice from the store.
Oh man, I guarantee you this is way better rice. Like, you're eating local minerals and all that good stuff. You can taste the terroir of the rice. Taste what our county's dirt tastes like.
Yeah, he doesn't even like, he doesn't spray or do anything like that, so it's just totally natural, and yeah, it was pretty neat. That was on Saturday, and then on, what was cool about him is that he was a refugee. I think he's from, I'll probably get this wrong, from Laos, I forget, something like that. And I guess he has his whole family out here, and he's like, supposedly he's like knows about business, because he was talking about his farm tour, and he got his whole family involved in his farm, where he's like, you're in charge of this certain crop, you're in charge of this other crop, you're in charge of this other crop, and then I'm going to be the one harvesting all of it. You guys don't have to do nothing. You're just growing it on your properties, and then I'm collecting it all and selling it, and then we're creating this like network of farmers, but we're all family.
That's cool.
It was pretty inspirational. I mean, honestly, we kind of got fired up about it when we got going to a farm like that, it gets you fired up. Like, it gets you like, you know what I mean? Like, it inspires you. You're like, man, we could do that. Like, or like, man, that's so awesome. Like, man, people are doing that, and it just gets you excited. So that was cool.
Next time they do that, I'm gonna have to go, because there is nothing like going and seeing someone else who's farming and doing it well to get you fired up. Like, that's how I felt when I took that grafting class at Way of Life Farm. Man, like, seeing how they've got everything growing, and it's where I want to be, and it gets you fired up. It's like, man, I got to go home and plant a whole bunch more trees.
I know. I was like, let me get some of them rice seeds. I won't tell anybody. So it was cool, man. Like, I would highly recommend anybody, even everyone's listening, to check that out. It was cool because you could just go to any farm you want, as many as you want, in 2 days, and there's food there, like good food. So on the next day, after we butchered the turkeys, we went to another farm, and they had, this one was just it was a pasture raised. They did cattle and they did pork, and they had like burgers there from from what they raised and stuff, and that was cool too. They were basically on top of a mountain raising these. They called them. You ever heard of? Oh man, I forget now. They were called piney wood cattle.
No, who knows?
They said they're like a heritage type cattle from. I think they're from the south somewhere. Like they're from the area, and I don't know. They have horns. They're not big horns, but supposedly they do good for the area that we're in. I had never heard of them, but
look them up.
But he had a bunch out there, and it was cool. It was it was neat. It was just we're butchering, and then we're driving to the farm or the tour, and then coming home, and the next day we did the same thing, and that was fun. And there's quite a lot of people there too. Like I imagine they were making pretty good. It was pretty good business for the farmers.
So you paid the farmers the $40 for the farm tour, or you paid the?
No, it's the ASAP people. They they put it on. You pay them, and then they give you a map, and you just drive to all these farms.
That's cool.
Was it the Piney Woods cattle?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'll read just the quick. It's an endangered American breed of triple-purpose cattle. It derives from cattle of Iberian origin, brought to the Americans by the conquistadors in the late 15th and early 16th centuries. So, I don't know about you, but some of the best pork in the world comes from the Iberian pigs, the black pigs from, that area of Spain. That's kind of cool. Yeah. That's kind of cool. I'm going to look into these cattle a little bit more.
Yeah, it says they are able to forage on poor pasture, show good resistance to parasites, and display high tolerance of heat and humidity. Is one of the things I was saying about them.
Check.
Right.
So it says they're a triple purpose. So what is that? Beef,
milk,
and what would be the third purpose?
Like oxen, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, like a work cattle. That would probably be the. That's kind of cool.
He said that. Yeah, he was talking about it. I don't remember if he said that or not. But yeah, I mean, farmers are cool, man. Like they just want to talk about what they're doing, and they're pretty knowledgeable of everything. Yeah. So it's just neat to see other farms like that, and they're doing it right,
Yeah.
And they're close by.
That's cool.
Like otherwise, how would you know about the farms, or how would you know that they were there? You wouldn't.
Right.
We don't go to farmers markets as often as I want, but that's the only reason why you would know who they were if you went to that farmers market that they were at.
I think what's cool about here is there's farms tucked up everywhere around here. You'd never know. You drive past all these little hollers and a dirt road that you've never been down, and there's a huge farm at the end of it, that kind of stuff. It seems like anywhere we go, if we go somewhere new, we'll see a farm. It's like, hey, you can spot the ones that are doing it right versus the ones that are doing it conventional. We have soybean fields, we have corn fields, and, like right now, they're spraying the heck out of everything. I was like, okay, obviously that's a conventional farm. And then you'll see, it just looks like Garden of Eden. It's green. You see the poultry nets, you see them. Nothing looks overgrazed. Everything looks healthy and green and lush. It's like, that's a farm that's doing it regeneratively. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And they're littered everywhere. That's the thing. It's like, how do you find them?
Yeah, go on ASAP's website, asapconnections.com, and everything's listed on there, which is cool. And you just might find my farm there now. Yeah, and then one last thing is I bought another freezer this week.
What's this one for?
For meat.
For pork?
for pork, for all these turkeys I got all of a sudden.
That's right.
I'm like, why am I, every single time I need a freezer, it's 9 p.m. on a Saturday night, and the store's about to close, and I'm trying to find somebody to help me because I need to buy a freezer. But I was like, man, hopefully this is the last freezer I buy this year, but I guess we'll see.
How many pigs you butchering?
4. They're little pigs though.
The little pigs.
I don't know. We're gonna see, but hopefully everyone's gonna pick up their turkeys, and then I'm gonna have more freezer space.
Right.
Exciting stuff.
That's cool.
I'm going to borrow your trailer so much this year. I almost feel like I'm going to owe you rent.
I'll bring it to you.
Hey, either that or we just call it our trailer.
Yeah. We're we're staggered. We got workshop staggered, so that way you could have it, I could have it. You could have it, I could have it.
So you get a workout.
Yeah.
At least it doesn't have far to travel.
Right. So what's up, Al? What'd you get into?
So it says triple purpose means milk, meat, and oxen on
Oxen.
the cattle.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. You'll
have
be
a
like, let me
team
get some of them cows. Let me buy 2 of them cows.
Maybe you could use them to the oxen have as a team, and they could like prepare your soil for growing your rice.
There we go. Yeah.
Jason just gives up on getting a tractor. Just gets some oxen.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Forget all that. That'd be awesome to have oxen. Just to do stuff.
Do they like your fairs down there? Do they have oxen stuff? Like I know that's a big thing up here at the fairgrounds.
Like what?
That I've seen. Like
They have
oxen pulling and stuff like that.
I've never seen it out here.
That's big up here for some reason, which surprises me. But
That would be cool.
It's always cool to see them working. It's like working together. It's like, how do you train them like that? Like they must have a lot of time in that team.
Yeah, get rid of the mini truck and have some oxen to carry water for me.
There you go.
Just get a wagon. All you need is a good
ride
wagon.
oxen?
They can pull and stretch your fence for you.
Yeah.
That's like a whole nother set of tools you would need just to work animals like that.
Right. I know. Can you ride them? Like, what do you do? Like, or just walk beside them?
Walk beside, probably hook a wagon to them.
That'd be cool.
Or sled.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Jason's thinking now.
Oh.
So we've decided, since we had some nice dry weather, we're gonna start our addition on the back of our barn. We want to make some runs for the chickens in the wintertime. We want to have an area for the pigs to have a run, so when she has her baby piglets, early March-ish, she can have an indoor run for them, and then a place to put the cattle if they need an indoor run for calving. So usually up here, like for pigs and stuff like that, we want to have them in March, the piglets, but it's still kind of cold, damp, and wet and muddy and nasty. So I'm like, I don't want to just have the piglets outside, because I would hate for something to happen just with our nasty weather that time of the year. But if we go too late, if we push it off later for having the piglets, then you kind of, I don't know. I like March babies, and then like May they're 8 weeks old. So if you're selling them, I think May's a good time of the year for people to get piglets. This year we had to wait till June. I just felt like that was too long. So we're trying to prepare and think ahead. And then this year we want to have our own eggs all winter. I don't want to have to go to the grocery store and buy any eggs, because that is never any
same.
Yeah.
So we got the coop inside the barn for the winter time, but I want to have a run for them. I don't want them just being stuck in the coop. So I've got to figure it out. We're going to have a concrete floor and a roof, but I want to make sure it has like windows and good ventilation and stuff so they can go out during the day and then go back inside. So that's what we started. We're looking at the forecast and I'm like, hey, we got some dry weather. We can start doing some dirt work, hopefully. So we're able to we had to take the siding off the barn, because I'm like, we're going to attach the roof to the barn. So the siding had to come off. I was kind of like, oh, we got to take that all back off and hang it all up later. But if we leave it on, it's going to get covered in concrete when we're pouring. And then if we didn't attach it to the other barn, we just have to get more 6x6s and make more posts and stuff. So I'm like, it'll be, in the long run, it'll be worth it to take all the siding off. But it's like, we just put this up 6 months ago.
So the chicken run's going to have concrete?
The chicken run's going to have concrete. Yeah.
Okay.
All the stall. We thought about doing piers, so you can buy like the pre-made concrete piers and bury them. It would have cost almost just as much as doing a concrete slab. It was a little bit cheaper, but not a ton. And then my thing is I'm like, you have a dirt floor, but how do you keep the, like if you're building on top of piers, we're not gonna be putting a floor in, so you're gonna have a gap on the ground. So it's like we'd have to bury wire under the ground, and it wouldn't be as easy. So I'm like, I don't know, concrete's probably not the best for the animals, but it's the easiest, and I think it's more convenient for us for cleaning and for keeping animals and rodents out of the barn for them.
Just deep bed the heck out of it and then
Yeah.
scrape it up.
Yep.
Plus, nothing's gonna dig under that.
Right. We when we built the barn, we built it like thinking, okay, in the future we can add on the backside, which is where we're adding on this year. And then if we want to, we can add on to the front also and do more stalls if we need to out front for large animals. So we've kind of did that in advance, I guess. So today was concrete day, and it was a Monday. I won't get into too much detail because the video won't be going out yet, but it was a Monday. Like, we were pouring concrete. It was like, it should have been done by noon, and it took me till like 4. Just like, I've never, like, it was going so good. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, this is going so good. It was just me and Gina pouring. And then it was like, we hit a hiccup, and then it just went downhill from there. I'm like, oh. I'm like, bummer. But yeah, we've actually had dry weather. So we finally fixed our sinkhole because it dried out. Because we started fixing a sinkhole. We got an inch of rain that we weren't supposed to get while I was driving the tractor down, and it rutted everything up. And then all the water was going back down to the sinkhole, so I couldn't fill it in. And then it was like the night or two after that, we got the big 8.5-inch rainstorm. So we had to let everything dry out, and it finally did. So we got that done. And then I was looking at the weather. I'm like, oh, wait, we're going to have more dry weather. So we've been, for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, we've been in the 80s again and no rain. It's just been dry. What the crazy thing was is before that, we had like a few nights that were like 39 degrees and it was like 50s and 60s. And then it got back up into the 80s again. It's like, this is nuts. I think today was 65 for a high, and it was overcast. So it was like perfect day for pouring concrete. So
Is your area still trying to recover from all that rain? Like around you? Like, are they still doing road work and all that?
Still doing road work. Most of the roads near us are good. There's a couple of small towns. Like there's one small town. I think it was like 80 or 90% of all of their roads in that town got washed out and ruined. So they had them passable. And when I say passable, like they weren't like very comfortable driving, and they usually only had like one lane. So I don't know how they're doing or when they're going to get stuff done, because they're going to want it fixed up before snowplow season, I would think, because I wouldn't want to be the town workers that are plowing these roads. I mean, they've been pretty rough. Luckily, we haven't been out on them. We had to be out on them for a while because there was different bridges washed out. So we got some temporary bridges in, and they're 1-lane bridges right now. And they're like, we don't know when we're going to get the real bridges in. It might take 2 years. So,
did you hit your first frost yet?
We have not. I think the coldest we've had was like 39 to 38. Last night, I think, was like 41 this morning, 43. So I don't think we're seeing any frost yet. Let me check the weather app real quick. Yes, the coldest I'm seeing this week is 43, 42 tonight. So when's your first frost date down there?
It's about 3 weeks away. It's October 15th or something like that. It's the middle of October.
Yeah, because ours is September 15th, and we haven't even come close yet, really. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything for the foreseeable future. Yeah, at least the next 2 weeks, there's nothing that cold. Maybe like 50 degrees, which 50 feels nice. I still sleep with the window open at 50.
Yeah, we've been having the windows open, the fans on, waking up chilly. It's like, this is perfect.
Yep. I like that. Get up in the morning, I'll open all the doors and windows in here, sit in here, drink coffee, and kind of shiver a little bit. It's like, oh, this is nice.
This is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple of inches of rain coming, or an inch coming over 2 days. So we're trying to make sure we could get the concrete done before the rain came in. I think we're good. So that's been our week. What's that?
You made it.
We made it.
That's always a race. Like if you got rain coming and you're doing concrete, that's a push.
Or usually you look and it's like, oh, there's no rain, so I'm going to do concrete. And then you start getting ready to do the concrete and it rains. I was surprised we had no rain for this like week that we were getting ready for this project. I was like, as long as we can get the concrete done, once the concrete's poured, like we can get rain. Like it's not going to be fun building in the rain, but at least we won't be in mud. So do you guys? So we have a new batch of egg layers. I think it's like in 4 weeks they should stop laying, and then we're going to put some supplemental lights in the coop this year to see if we can keep them going. But we got off track. We were last year. We didn't, but we try to like rotate a new batch every other year of egg layers, and then we find that they stay laying throughout the winter better. Do you guys find that?
Yep. This year we got our new egg layers this spring, and they're just starting to lay right now. I think we've been getting eggs from them for about 3 weeks now. I got in the coop this morning, and there's like, how the first couple of eggs will be like itty bitty.
Mm-hmm.
I keep finding those, so it's happening. They're finally starting to lay, and it's like, yes, that means we're gonna have eggs over the winter.
Right, it's the worst. And the winter time is like when you want them. You do more baking. You do, you know what I mean. You eat more heavier food that has that kind of that you need them for. And it's like, wait a minute, this is when I want my eggs. Is in the fall and winter time.
You just have to remember to collect them because then they'll freeze.
Yeah, we got to get out early some days. That's not any fun, especially when you don't have many, and then you go out to collect that day's batch, and they're all frozen and cracked.
Yep.
That was something that took a while to get used to. It's like, oh, we can't just check them in the morning. We have to check them over like throughout the afternoon, especially on the days where it's like really cold. It never gets above freezing. If there's not a chicken in there to keep those eggs warm, by the time you get to them, they're like burst and frozen solid. Egg sickles.
But that's been it for our week.
All right. So let's go into the question and answer. Which one do we pick here? What did we say?
16, Mike. Uh-oh, Jason's getting out the glasses.
Let me get my glasses out. I can't see, guys. I can't see. Mike, that's our friend, Ben.
Oh, it's our Mike?
Our Mike.
Oh.
Yes.
Then I could almost hear that question in his voice. I didn't realize that was our Mike, but it makes sense. Like That sounds like something our Mike would ask.
Yeah. I didn't put his last name here, but yeah. It says, okay, this question is, how do each of you manage your tasks and time? Do you have a to-do list and strict daily schedule, or do you just work on things that you want to when you want to? And that's a good question, Mike.
It's a very good question.
It's a little bit of everything.
It is a little bit of everything.
A little bit, yeah. It's all of the above.
Right.
It depends on the urgency of the project.
And the weather.
Yeah, and the weather. It absolutely depends on the weather.
I mean, of course, there's certain things, right, that needs to be done. Like, you got chickens coming and you need to be able to chicken coop, stuff like that. Or the weather. It's going to snow, or the winter's coming, right, Al? And then I got to better put in this concrete.
Yep. I get the concrete done so we can build in the snow if we need to, or we can't do concrete in the snow, but if we have that done, we can do the other stuff later.
Well, how about this? How about you, Al? What do you do? What do you do to manage your tasks and time? Anything specific?
I think we have our daily, like, if you want to call them chores, and we just kind of like know, like, hey, we got to bust these out and get them done.
Right.
And then it's a to-do list. Like, I'll just try to keep like a running track of different projects we have going on. And it's looking at the weather, trying to see like what is going to be working out best with weather-wise. But also, like you said, if you got chicks coming, you need a new chicken tractor. You got to get the brooder ready. It's kind of depending on seasonal stuff too at the same time.
Do you write something down and actually have a list and be like, this is what I'm doing today, and this is what I'm doing tomorrow, and this is what I'm doing?
Not like that. I'll make a list in the phone of different projects that we need to do. And I'll keep a running list like going like that, and then
do you like every say night? Do you make a list for the next day?
No, I think that's in my head. That probably drives Gina crazy because
it's on your head.
It's in my head.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Now, what about Gina? Does she make the list for everybody?
No.
Okay.
No.
She's just following along behind you, trying to figure out what you're doing.
Because Lorraine's a list maker.
She's got to do, and then it's like, what are we doing today?
Yeah, Lorraine's the list maker. I'm asking her, what are we doing?
Oh, yeah.
driving
I'm
her
in the
nuts.
same boat as Jason there.
We
Meg
all
is
drive
the
her nuts.
Meg is a spreadsheet person. She's always been a spreadsheet person, and honestly, I wouldn't be where I am without her spreadsheets. But man, I'm the same way. There's a lot of times it's like, hey, let's see the spreadsheet. Let's see what we're working on this week.
Yeah. So I think it's hard. I mean, creating these videos on YouTube, I think it's hard to come up with a strict schedule, like
Yes,
a hard,
absolutely.
like, Monday I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing that. Like, I think it's really has to kind of go with the flow, right? I mean, I don't know. That's the way I think about it. What do you guys think? Things happen.
Yeah. So we didn't. I'm not really a list person. I'm not really I don't know. I guess it comes from so many years living, day to day inside of a machine shop where there's all the jobs, here's all the work. You just work at your own pace. Every place I've ever worked, it was just you just do your thing. And then when it got to where I was in charge of people, here, just do your thing, that kind of thing. And so coming here, I have had the hardest time relearning how to manage my time myself. And so it's been in the, very recent, I'm talking this year, it's finally dawned on me how to manage my time, and lists are my jam. Like, I carry a notepad because if I write it on my phone, it just goes in one ear and out the other. I hate using my phone as my brain, and I find if I write it on paper, it makes it stick. And so I've gotten in the habit this for a year now. Anytime I think of something that needs to be done, I write it down. And it's gotten to the point now where I'm able to write lists and keep like a tally of things that are going on. And I don't really schedule things out unless they need to be scheduled out. Like Monday we're doing this and Tuesday we're doing that. I'll do that. Like I think I talked about, me and Meg sat down today with a calendar and my notepad, and we're sitting hashing out what the next 2.5 weeks look like before our first pig class. It's like, well, we need to get this cleaned and we need to get this organized and we need to make sure there's no random chunks of wood that someone's going to roll an ankle on, like that kind of stuff. And so, I don't know. That's kind of how I manage my time. Is generally I just work off of a list. It's like a grand list of things that need to be done. And as things, catch on fire, this is really important. It's on fire. Let's deal with this. That kind of on fire. I don't mean actually on fire, but as the priority goes up the list, that's what we'll take on next. But generally, it's like, if we've got a list, then we just start going after it.
Yeah. I mean, I have a hard time with lists and schedules. I'll buy, for the last few years, I didn't do it this year because I said, okay, this is not working. But for the last few years, I tried to buy like a, one of them moleskin schedule books, the calendars.
Yeah, I got one of those too. Didn't work out.
It starts off good. It starts off really good. I'm like, okay, you first get it in the mail and I'm like, oh, this is nice. I'm going to carry this thing around and I'm going to write in it. And like every day I'm going to talk about what I'm going to be doing for the day. And then it lasts a week maybe. And then eventually I don't even, it's in my drawer somewhere. I don't even know where it's at. Like, I have a hard time, like if it's not in front of my face, like literally, like I'm not staring at it every day, then I'm not going to write on it. I'm not going to look at it. I can't put something on my phone. I can't put anything on my phone because I'm going to forget I put it there.
Yep.
I do carry my little notepad, but really I just draw pictures in here. I just draw the, this is a good design. Let me draw this out. Like it's all pictures and dimensions. It's not, there's no lists in here of what I have to do.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, it's all like, okay, I'm gonna do the the horse stalls this way, and I'm gonna build this and that, and but yeah, it's just so hard to everything's in my head basically.
How do you keep track of meetings? Because I am terrible with that. Like if I got things I got to do with other people, Like I don't use a calendar. I'm just like, oh, and then sometimes I get in trouble because it.
Lorraine. I have Lorraine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have Meg. Like,
I have Lorraine.
if there's an appointment, there's some place we got to be. She'll tell me morning of, be like, hey, don't forget, we got to go do, blah blah blah. Oh, that's today. Like I said,
Yep.
I wouldn't be where I am now without my wife.
Yeah, or like, if I have like a Zoom meeting or, a phone call or something, I'm like, oh, so-and-so wants to talk on next Friday. Am I doing anything? And then she looks at her calendar and be like, no, I don't think we got anything going on. And then I'm like, okay. And then she'll write it on her calendar. And so like, basically she's my calendar.
That's why our wives get along.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess if she didn't do that, then yeah, it would force me to do it, I guess.
Yeah, same.
I need to remember, right? Like you got to remember these things, like important phone calls. But I don't know. I mean, I guess there's nothing set in stone, I think, because
that would be the do you just work on things when you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of how it is. There's a basic schedule of the have tos, phone calls, meetings, interviews, stuff like that. Not that we do a whole lot of that stuff anymore, but
yeah,
generally just work on what you want. Work on what needs to be worked on.
Yeah. I just want to roll out of bed and think about what am I going to do today? Oh yeah, let's just do this. I love that.
I think it's different too, depending on like what the project is. If you got a big project you're working on, then you kind of have more of an agenda, I guess, of what you got to do when you got to do it.
Right. Or like, fencing, you want to finish that or get to a good stopping point before it gets, 100 degrees outside, stuff like that. Putting in an end wall to a high tunnel, I want to do that before it starts getting cold. That's on the list. But I mean, yeah, I guess everyone has their own ways. But doing videos it makes it tougher and throws in another aspect of it, I think.
Definitely throws a monkey wrench.
Because sometimes maybe you're doing a video, you're doing this video, and then it's like, oh man, I gotta stop because I gotta go to Lowe's, and that's gonna put my whole day out of whack. And this video is gonna be a day late or 2 days late, But I guess if you planned it better, you probably could have made it work. But
doing this thing, the best videos are the ones where you plan it out, you get the shots you want, you get everything recorded. You're done recording by 9 a.m, and you got your whole video, and then you go inside and do the voiceover. We do like one every couple years that comes out like that, but those are the best.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. I think it's always evolving. But yeah, I hope that answered your question, Mike.
I will say, like when we're videoing, like I have a strict schedule. Like okay, like X, Y, Z. Like I have like so much time every day. Like we have kind of like Monday, Tuesday. I have like a different schedule for work, and then Wednesday I have less time to do the work and more time for editing, kind of thing. And so I kind of have like a strict schedule when it comes to work and editing wise, like to make the videos flow.
Like, do you say, okay, I have, I don't know, this time to this time.
Yep.
And whatever I film that day, between that time, that's it.
Yep. So we put 2 days in each video. So like Monday, Tuesday. So Monday I kind of have like all day to work because I edit first. So I get up early in the morning. I'll edit for like an hour. Then we go out, we do morning chores, have breakfast. And then all day or after that, till we get ready for the podcast, I can work in video. Tuesday, I have to finish the first edit, and then I got to do a second edit, and then I can do the work. So usually like Monday, I call it a full day of work. Tuesday, I have half day of work and half day of editing. Wednesday, half day of work, half day of editing. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a full days of work. And I edit first thing in the morning. Those 3 days. That's how I do it.
I guess I'm not so strict.
But that's I don't know. That's the way I do it. So I make sure I get the videos out and stuff like that.
I mean, I try to do it where I'm like, film maybe 1 or 2 days and then edit, film, edit, film, edit.
Yep.
And it doesn't always work out that way.
No.
Sometimes it's film, edit.
Right.
It kind of just depends. I don't know. It depends what the project is. I love the days where it's just one day of filming and then you edit the next day and post it that same day. In a perfect week, like that's how it would be.
Yep.
If we get the rain that's coming up, that the weather app says it's coming, I'm not looking forward to that, because everything I got to do right now is outside stuff. It's just like, ugh. That's the only variable that I have a hard time with, is when it rains, because it kind of just messes my whole job up.
Yep. And cameras don't like rain either.
No.
Cameras do not like rain.
Even harder.
Where it's like, I need to do this kitchen island, right? And I need to find, I don't want to just do it out of 2x4s. I want to find actually real wood, and I've been trying to find some hardwoods, and but in the meantime, while I'm looking for this stuff, I gotta put out the videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could literally take the whole month off looking for hardwood, or try to make this thing, but I need fillers. I need filler videos between them.
Yep.
That's why I put in the end wall. I was like, okay, I could put in the end wall in a day. I could do that video. You start thinking about that. Thinking about what can I do that's kind of a quick video in between while I'm making this island.
Yep.
That's hard. That's hard to and then you're juggling all these videos at the same time.
And then you got to make sure you have everything you need for each project, and you don't got to run out, because that just kills your time for building and filming.
Yeah,
Yep.
It could be really bad.
Yep.
And then it's worse when you think you saved some footage, but you accidentally delete it. And then you're like, oh man, there goes that video.
I haven't had that happen in a long time, but that's a bad day. That's a Monday.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all tough, but just keep at it. We'll get it all done.
Right. The list never ends. There's always something to do.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, Mike, I hope that answered your question. Hopefully that didn't confuse you more.
We didn't help.
Hopefully, I know.
We made it worse.
I know we made it worse.
Sorry, Mike.
I know. In other words, we don't do any of it. Yeah. We're just flying by the seat of our pants.
Some weeks feel like that. Some weeks are absolutely flying by the seat of our pants, but we try.
Yeah. Take it week by week, day by day. But cool. So, we have a bunch of questions here. We probably could pick one of these questions for the next 20 weeks.
Yep.
And
Or we could play 20 questions.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I guess next week we'll do another question. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was fun.
Okay. So, we'll do another question here in this off of this list, and that was fun. But all right. You guys good?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. That was fun. This is a fun one. I appreciate everyone listening and watching. And please hit the subscribe button if you can on YouTube, and rate us on iTunes and Spotify and all that. And thank you guys. And hopefully everyone has a great week. Thanks.
Have a good week, everybody.
Later, everybody.